Mic check. What's up, Mike? You know, I grew up in the racing dirt background, so automatically, you know, people like Brian Foster were at the top of my list. You know, people that were doing both racing and transitioning over into dirt jumping as well. You know, obviously Joe Rich had a huge play, Taj, Ruben, you know. Austin was such a huge BMX city and there was so many people coming to town all the time that I was pretty fortunate to see a lot of the bigger name riders, you know, at that time. I think I had pretty much just turned 18 and I'd already moved out of my house by then, and I was, you know, living in a house with, you know, 6 or 7 of my friends, and at that time I was getting flow from Fit. Robbie was he was giving flow to a lot of different people, and I was lucky enough to be one of them. And then I remember it was like a week and a half after my 18th birthday. It was right before they were gonna do that Fit Puerto Rico trip, and Robbie called me and asked me if I wanted to go, and it was kind of like, you know, my first real team trip, you know, with everybody. Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy experience, you know, traveling with Van and Mikey and BF and Edwin, and, you know, being on that trip and being that young, it was, yeah, I mean, it was a crazy experience. I definitely got my ass handed to me on that trip, though. They put me through the ringer. It was like a 2-week trip. I slept on the floor every night. And, like, they'd come in and throw buckets of water on me and shit, and like, yeah, all sorts of stuff. I mean, it was we had 2 minivans, and basically, like, I don't know, I guess you could say that there was like a cool van and like an old tired dude van, and like I would have to ride in the other one like basically the whole time. Like everybody would just hop in the other one, and like we'd pull up at a stoplight and everybody would be partying. You'd see the other van like rocking and stuff, and me and Robbie and BF and be in the other one just like, yeah, like just not doing shit. Like, I don't know. But it's funny looking back on that stuff. I would like to think that I'm a little bit more responsible these days, you know. I guess you could say 18-year-old me didn't really care or think about a whole lot of stuff, you know. I was kind of just trying to think of where I'm gonna have fun at next, you know, whether it be riding or, you know, partying, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I kind of pumped the brakes on that whole scene a little bit, but there was definitely a few years of it where I was, you know, it caught up to me a little bit. Like, I would notice there'd be days where I'd go out riding and I'd just be done for, you know, and I couldn't do shit, and I'd be like, you know, 19, and like everybody would be like, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude? And I'd be like, oh, I got too drunk last night. Like, yeah, it's, I don't know. It's all personal preference, really. I like to know that I can show up somewhere and basically get stuff done as quick or as slow as I want to. Usually we get to a spot and like Mike will just start setting up almost immediately, and then 20 minutes into the session I'm warmed up and he's ready to go. These one-on-one trips, you can definitely walk away with considerable amount more stuff because you can just get what you want done and keep it moving. No, by no means. I don't want my chapter's part to be any like one specific type of riding. I always try and, you know, give a little bit of everything into my video parts, and this will just be a major extension to all of that, you know. I just, you know, basically want to film on everything, so I would definitely say the pool category is probably taken care of though. Being a part of this video and getting the opportunity to film a part for it is definitely my top priority, and it will be until, you know, the video's done.